The summary. Mark it on your calendars, y'all. We just hit the actual game.
We're only an hour and 10 minutes in.
You know, whatever. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. They love it. Summary of last session. Indefinite Cryosleep. First Lieutenant Dolby Newman and Private Burgess, raise your hands, are led by Sergeant Amelia Dustone to the commander of Neptune Station 4-1, Commander Donna Laura. There, Dolby convinces Laura to put Dustone under his command. Aside, I just realized after Holker dropped his astropography. No. What is it called again? Astrometrics?
Astrometry.
Astrometry. After he dropped that, Dolby actually, if he's from Ganymede, then he was actually from relatively near Neptune Station. Oops.
It's not that close. I mean, Jupiter and Neptune are pretty far. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, it's closer than you know. Anyway, all right, fine. Commander Laura releases Private Cherokee Sue into Dolby's command. Cherokee is a former colleague of Dolby and his squad who's been frozen in cryo for 2 months. Private Burgess and Dustone get... Is that a corgi? Get Private Sue out of cryo and onto their feet. All 6'8" of him, 300 pounds. They all get a beer. Meanwhile, on the ship, the Cool Mint, Private Alice Brick and Private Skipp Trace commiserate after a workout. Alice doesn't trust Sergeant Dustone, but Burgess convinces her that the Lieutenant Dolby, has a plan. Oh, Skipp Trace. Oh, child. Private Trace notices that the ship's RI, robotic intelligence, ALFRET, hasn't spoken in a while and investigates. Skipp discovers that ALFRET is lonely and is upset that no one has spoken to him in a while. At Skipp's behest, ALFRET comes around. Before shoving off onto their actual mission, Lieutenant Dolby gives Commander Laura intel about his latest suspicions that the renowned magistrate Ava Cyrus might be both saboteur and traitor to the SSA. Dun. Commander Laura is unsettled by this information, especially considering the 2 disasters that just occurred, that being a capital ship just exploded because of sabotage, and her space station, a 5th of it, got released into space. The full crew of the Cool Mint meet up in the gunboat's mess. Private Sue realizes their former battle buddies have changed since they last met, since their re-education on Prime. Left alone with ALFRET, Private Sue treats the RI with much needed respect and gains an ally. Everyone gets into cryo for the 4.5-year haul towards their destination, Novus Terra. Upset by Dolby's lack of friendly emotion, Private Sue has ALFRET wake him for a medical report on the other 7 sleeping Marines, only to discover a major health issue with Petty Officer Döl Ngenerien. Döl may die during the trip. Enter 2 hours of gameplay about this. Sue has ALFRET revive the old crew, and paranoia and tensions rise as they search for a solution. Finally, Ngenerien's revived, and it's quickly determined, actually pretty much by Dolby, that Ngenerien sabotaged his own cryopod out of guilt for what has happened. Despite Private Sue's attempt at Marine Corps kumbaya, Lieutenant Dolby informs his squad of a harsh truth. They're en route to hostile territory, and there's no going back. They're all Marines who must suck it up. Private Skipp supports Lieutenant Dolby, and the private and the lieutenant finally come to an understanding. After a day's wait to allow the alcohol and cortisol to wear off, all are back in the cryosleep. And it's so nice. Just as Dolby nods off, ALFRET reveals to him that Sergeant Dustone had entered their ship prior to the group's initial arrival. implying that she is a traitor. And 2, that ALFRET is a SOC Level 4 operative. SOC is Special Operations Corps. So spies. Dolby attempts to free himself to kill the sergeant, but ALFRET sedates him, saying that the sergeant is needed for the RI's real mission.